Hi YouTube, it's been a minute. So, I am here to finally discuss what happened at Elimination Chamber. And guys, I've been working on a script finally to try to limit the babbling and the nonsense that you see in the videos. I'm still working on trying to edit. If anyone can help with some pointers, that'd be great. I would appreciate it. But we were unfortunately not able to get a predictions video for this channel in before Elimination Chamber. But I did, however, retain with the events of the Elimination Chamber and our predictions. I am still the champion. I am now officially 1 full year as the predictions champion. It is an honor and a privilege to be the champion for this long for our predictions. This is the longest title reign that me, my brother Andrew, or my friend Brian has ever seen. Brian did just get introduced to this, so between me and Andrew, this is the longest reign at 1 year that either one of us have ever had. So I just want to give a shout out to Andrew and Brian. Better luck at Mania. Let's go for it. Now, I will get this out of here so we can get more comfortable and let's talk about the Elimination Chamber. We will get into what happened at the end of the night towards the end. I do want to say, however, overall, I think it was a solid show. I think it was an A+ show. I don't think it was the best pay-per-view of the year. I do believe the Royal Rumble was a little bit better. More impactful, however, I will have to give it to the Elimination Chamber because of what we will be talking about later on. But let's jump into it. And let's start with the women's Elimination Chamber match because that one jumped off from the start with an impactful moment too. You had Bayley in it. You had Bianca Belair in it. You had Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss. You had Naomi. Bear with me. And who else did they have? Roxanne Perez, that's right, the surprise. I think Roxanne put on a phenomenal match. I think they all did. But let's start with what happened at the beginning. Jade Cargill returned and attacked Naomi. Now, I was one of the first ones to immediately point out Naomi because for me it was just easier to just know it was Naomi because of how things just played out and who really benefited from Jade getting hurt. Excuse me. Naomi was able to become a tag team champion and fight with Bianca Belair and keep the titles. Now, I do, however, suspect that Bianca was behind it too because Bianca was in a match and everyone's like, oh, well, how can it be Bianca? She was busy. It could have still been her plan for Naomi to take her out because from what I saw, Naomi looked back with a look of concern like, we're so busted, help me, you're locked in that pod and I'm screwed. And it was one of the most brutal beatdowns I've seen in a while, and I was so happy that we finally got to see it. It's playing out to be Mania. It's planning out to be Naomi versus Jade, because Bianca's won the match. Bianca won the Elimination Chamber match, and a solid match. Liv Morgan taking that whip was one of the most brutal hair whips I've heard in a very long time. And Liv had the body scars to show for it on Facebook. I was scrolling and just happened to see some pictures that Liv Morgan posted. And yeah, she went through hell. And she came really close to winning, to giving us Liv and Rhea again. A lot of people don't want to see that, but I think they need to finish it. Do they necessarily need the title to do so? No. But here we are with one night after Monday Night Raw, and Io Sky is now the champion, and it's going to be Io versus Bianca. It might be a triple threat. Who knows? It's WWE's trying to throw us curveballs and trying to set us up with, matches they know we want, but matches that they also know that each superstar also wants in retrospect. So it's just really great for Mania season for us wrestling fans to sit here and watch and wait to see what they give us at Mania. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on. I did like that other than Naomi, because Naomi got taken out before the match even started. There was no pinfalls or submissions until every other woman was in the match. I picked Alexa Bliss. Me and my brother Andrew and our friend Brian all picked Alexa Bliss. I will say Brian got unfortunate with that one. The night before, we all were at an event out in Kent, Ohio, and he had picked Bianca Belair up until that point, and we kind of talked him out of it and talked him into picking Alexa Bliss, and yeah, he almost had a point there, but he ended up choosing Alexa Bliss, and we all saw who happened to win. The second match, the tag team match, it wasn't a great match. It wasn't a bad match. It was a match that I would have to go back and watch again, and I would go back and watch again. But from watching it from the first time, there wasn't really anything memorable. It just felt like a tag match just to give Tiffany Stratton a little bit more momentum to facing Charlotte at Mania. Because as of right now, we all know that Charlotte Flair is going to become champion again at Mania at this point. Now, as I say that, I am also recalling what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. Io Sky beat Rhea, so who knows? Tiffany could pull it off. But they did have to give her momentum into that match. Trish Stratus wasn't losing in Toronto in her hometown. She wasn't doing it. I was kind of surprised Nia took the pin. I was kind of hoping Tiffany would pin Candice, but not Nia. But it kind of happened the way it did, and it worked because, again, it makes Tiffany look that much stronger because she was able to pin a woman like Nia Jax and gives her just a little more credibility heading into Mania. The third match, besides impact alone of what happened after the said match coming up, I would give this match of the night. This also has a contention for being match of the year. Even though technically it wasn't a match, it was an unsanctioned match. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, them two, it doesn't matter how long that they go without being in the ring with each other, like on opposing sides, but they still can put out a banger of a match. Last time we seen them in the ring together fighting was a tag team, and they won the titles at Mania. And I mean, not the last time, they obviously defended the belts. Excuse me, YouTube. After that, but in that sense, that was the last time they were in the ring together. They weren't even fighting each other. And for them to go that long without fighting each other to now just very first match of the feud, and it just, boom, happens with magic. The brutality. I've heard a lot of people say it needed blood. It did. The spots were great. The barbed wire chair, me and my brother we looked at each other like, Mick, why'd you leave that there? But all the spots were great. It felt like blood needed to be in that match from both of them. But who knows with WWE what they're thinking. Randy Orton returning was predictable. I kind of wanted to see it happen a different way with Sammy actually pulling it off, with Randy coming down before the end of the match and helping Sami Zayn win the match. But I kind of see where they went with it, because if you would have Sammy win it, then you would need another match with Kevin and Sammy. But with Sammy getting the loss here, it kind of sets up the Randy-Kevin match at Mania that has been a thing ever since Kevin Owens pile-drived Randy Orton and put him on the shelf for a few months actually. I think them teasing the punt could be a thing. I think they could possibly do it at Mania with Triple H now being in control of creative. It is a very high possibility that they'll get away with it. It just has to be the right person. I think Kevin is the perfect one to take it, sell it, and actually be okay, but act like he actually gets murdered. The one thing I did have an issue with it was weeks leading into this unsanctioned match, Adam Pearce told Sammy, there's nothing we can do. WWE absolves all responsibility. We can't stop Kevin from pile driving you, from power bombing you over and over and over again. And as soon as the match started getting more one-sided with Kevin Owens, WWE producers, security, officials, all of them were coming down trying to stop the match. And it's like, but you said you couldn't stop what was happening. Like, why are you trying to now stop it? They didn't end up stopping it, but it was the whole point of why are you even down there? I did appreciate Charles Robinson's face, the ref, who took a clothesline from Kevin, and right before the clothesline, his face of absolute terror was so great. It was so wholesome. Both of the referees taking both of those bumps as they did and just selling it more than the superstars, which is perfect. The first referee taking the hula kick, he was out for the rest of the match. Charles Robbins was outside the ring for the rest of the match. Again, it was a great match, great spots. Just, I wish there was blood. Just a little bit more. The final match, the men's elimination. I say final match, just bear with me. The men's elimination chamber match. You had John Cena defeating CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. And this match was everything you expected it to be with all the top stars. Brian had picked Drew McIntyre for winning it, and I had picked John Cena, along with my brother who picked John Cena. And it was shocking, and it was awesome to see Drew McIntyre get eliminated first, because at that point I knew I had secured the win for my predictions championship. So again, I was like ecstatic and was able to enjoy the rest of the match without worrying if Drew McIntyre was going to pull this off. I did like how they continued the thing with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest being the one to roll Drew McIntyre up for the 1, 2, 3. I didn't like how quick Damian Priest got eliminated, um, especially before all the men were in the Elimination Chamber. I would have liked to see all of them, fighting each other. It was a solid match. John Cena and CM Punk teasing each other about, locking up and fighting each other, and then actually fighting each other. I looked at my brother and it was like, I swear if they go the whole match without touching each other in any form of wrestling moves, I'm going to be upset. But they ended up being the final two. I kind of sensed, and I'm going to jump right into the Cena Cody Rhodes final boss thing here too, because it kind of goes together. Once Seth hit CM Punk with that stomp, Cena took advantage of that. Now, hold on. I could see where, most fans would come out and say, well, he was just taking advantage of it because he's trying to go to WrestleMania. He's chasing the 17. I get it. I hear you. But John Cena's whole thing has been hustle, loyalty, and respect. He would never take advantage of that. Plus, the STFU he put in was way more brutal the second time when he put it on CM Punk than it was during the match in the middle of it. You could definitely tell, like, it was PG face Cena during that part. He barely had he didn't have any torque on his neck. He just had his arms next to his head and just going like that, like he usually does. The second time, when he actually made Punk pass out, he straight up sleeper hold choke. It was brutal. Like, it literally caused him to pass out. And that was just kind of like oh. And then Cody Rhodes comes down, and it's like, okay, well, he's going to congratulate Cena. See you at Mania. I got some business to handle. Thank you. But Cena didn't leave. The Rock's music hit. Okay. I don't know how to tell you, YouTube, without bursting out of my chair here. But when Cody told The Rock no in so many other words, I was so happy. It was the fact that it wasn't censored. It was raw. It was real. It felt right for it. And then everyone's like, oh, Cena's happy for Cody. And then the moment you see Rock and look at Cena when Cena gives Cody a hug, you knew. Like that face he gave, you knew. I will leave a question out for you guys. Discuss it in the comments if you'd like. I will be involved in those comments as well. Like I said, comment on the video. Let's interact with each other and let's get this really rolling. But what is it with The Rock? The last time he came back, when he first came back, he came out and held up 3 fingers. When he did that with Cena, it was 2. The only problem I have with it is, how did you start off with 3 when it was just yourself, Final Boss? Why are you counting down when you're just now adding more people to your group? It just doesn't make sense to me. The math isn't mathing. I digress. Anyway, there are a couple other things I want to talk about, YouTube. Michael Cole. Kept up with how he usually does. Messing up on commentary. I love you, Michael Cole, but something's got to change. Because, you kept calling a backstabber a code breaker. Code breaker is not a backstabber, and a backstabber is not a code breaker. Code breaker is where you grab the back of their head and pull it to your knee, and you smack their face with your knee, and they go backwards. What was happening was the person performing the move was behind the person and pulled them back, and their knee hit the back of them. Like, it was a backstabber. Quit calling it a code breaker. You did it on Monday Night Raw. What are you doing, Michael? Stop it. Also, calling the Rolex that Cody Rhodes had on brass knuckles when Cena was hitting him with it, and even Pat McAfee had to correct him. That's a Rolex, Michael. Do better, Michael. Just do better. I will say I was a little shocked in the reactions in the Toronto KeyBank Center. Or that was Buffalo. That was Buffalo, YouTube. I'm catching on. In Toronto, the reactions for people when they came out, certain superstars when they came out, I didn't really hear a major pop for Trish Stratus, which I was shocked on. Sammy's was okay, was normal. Kevin's was normal. There was a lot of people that I just expected to get a bigger pop for, and it just didn't happen. But overall, I will definitely give it an A+. It gave us, at the start, a return of Jade Cargill. It gave us the return of Randy Orton. And it gave us everything that we wanted with Cena being heel now. And let's get into that for just a few minutes here. If you remember John Cena when he first debuted as Dr. Thugonomics, he was a heel. So for us, seeing John Cena as a heel, for me, I've seen it, but it wasn't very long because the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick took off so well that they just inevitably turned him face. And then from that moment, he had never been heel again. And there was a interview I saw that had said with John Cena that, shout out to Chris Van Fleet. I heard him say that there was a chance that there was talks about him turning heel back in 2012. And that would have been perfect. Cena Rock 1 would have been perfect. There were so many times that you could have done it that you didn't inevitably do it. And at the last possible moment of there being a possibility of them doing it, they finally pulled the trigger, and they're finally giving us a Cena heel turn. I'm just excited to see what it's about. I think it means he's going to be around more. He's going I predict, I'm putting it down right now, I'm predicting John Cena gets the 17 titles at Mania. Because I think if you're going to turn him heel, you have to make it mean something, and him winning the title at Mania definitely is going to mean something, so why not do it? But I'm excited for it. I was predicting it. I did predict Cena turning heel before the pay-per-view actually started. Me and my brother were talking about it, and we were getting to the segment of Cody and Rock. Will Cody sell his soul? And I said no. But Cena might. I did not see it happening that night. I saw it happening in Buffalo because for me, he's from Boston. Boston and New York don't like each other. They were in Buffalo, New York on Monday Night Raw. I figured it would have been a Monday Night Raw thing or even at SmackDown. Who knows? But I I got the prediction of him turning heel right. I got the time of him turning heel wrong. But as a wrestling fan for at least 31 years now, I started watching when I was 4 years old, somewhere around there. Um, it's been a wild ride for wrestling to see where it was, to where it got to it falling back down, to it picking way back up with WrestleMania 17, for it then dropping down in the uh, late 2010s, like early 2010s to late 2010s, and then you obviously had the pandemic and the Thunderdome. Sorry, YouTube. Um, you had the Thunderdome, and now you have Triple H era, and we have the potential, ladies and gentlemen, to see one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, even on par with last year and WrestleMania 17. Last year's was fantastic. It's up there with WrestleMania 17 for me being one of the favorites, but it has the possibility of stealing that top spot, and I'm excited for it. But tell me what you guys thought of Elimination Chamber. Did you predict anything? Did you get them all right? Did you get them all wrong? Did you split the difference? Let me know. But I will be making another video here soon. I will be doing a video game related top 10 and maybe another Disney top 10 villain and heroes list. So stay tuned, YouTube. I know it was a while. I'm sorry it took me so long, but I'm going to hopefully start making more videos on a regular basis and get them out to you. Like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you get notified of every time that I post a new video. That way you can see it, like it, dislike it. Let me know how you feel about these videos. I really want to know. Be honest, be brutal. I don't care. I want to hear your opinions. Thank you. Love you, YouTube.